friend, welcome. If we haven't met yet, I'm Jen. I'm a part-time online clothing reseller, which means I go to thrift stores, I buy used clothes, I list them on eBay and Poshmark, and hopefully sell them for a profit. Today is, I forgot to look, Thursday, April 17th, and I have 5 items that sold in the last 24 hours. However, this is actually 2 days of sales because I didn't have any sales the day prior. My gross sales amount is $116.15. The first item is it sold really low, and it was because I just needed some sales, right? Actually, I think this may have sold that first day. I think I had like 1 sale. This is Jill Wherever collection. The sell-through rate is not super high on this. The average sale price is $14.46 with a 12% sell-through rate. So I calculate sell-through rate as the amount of items sold divided by the amount of items sold and listed. So if we're doing very simple math with simple numbers, if 100 Jill Wherever tops were listed in the last 90 days, out of 100, 12 would be sold and 88 would still be listed. So not a very high sell-through rate. However, my personal experience with Jill Wherever collection is really good. Not this one exactly, but I've sold 73% of the Jill Wherever collection tops, or actually dresses, just anything in that collection. So somebody offered me $12 on Poshmark. I took that offer, just not super, a lot lower than the average sale price anyway, and because the sell-through rate is so low, that's fine. I may have spent this sounds dumb. I may have spent too much money on it. I paid $3 for it, which I know is not a lot of money. That's not, but just, based on the fact that I only sold it for $12, this probably would have been better if I had, only spent $1 on it. Obviously, the lower the cost of goods, the bigger the profit, right? But after fees and my cost of goods, my profit is $6.05. So I doubled my money. That's one way to look at it. And I got my $3 back, so it's all good. I probably would buy that again because Jill Wherever does really well for me. That was an extra large petite, and I find that petite sells well, it seems like. Maybe I should look that number up. I'm kind of curious. Sometimes I get a little curious about numbers. All right, so Jill Petite, I have been keeping track on Vendu since November of 2023. So since then, I've sold 10 petite items. I currently have 6 listed. And then overall, I've sold 40 petite items and have 28 listed. I actually kind of think that feels low. Okay, I only have 28 petite items listed. I don't know. This is a skirt, not petite. This is vintage, and it has some fun embroidery. It has some sequins. It has some metallic threads. It is a tiered maxi skirt. It is a plus size. The brand is Jennifer Lauren Plus. Anyway, plus size, which I enjoy. I used fairy as a keyword with this. I don't really know what I'm doing with keywords, so take that as what you will. But a vintage maxi skirt, plus size, sequins, tiered. That's what I looked up. Has an average sale price of $23.13 with a less than 4% sell-through rate. It was like 3.6 something. Super low. I had this listed pretty high because when I have vintage items that are a little more unique, actually most vintage items I feel like are unique at this point. I will list them at $30 if there's not a real clear, like, you should be listing this at $27 or $22 or whatever. I picked $30. Someone offered me $17 and I accepted that, and it sold in a month. I did pay $1 for this at one of my favorite thrift stores, and that makes my profit $12.60. Better profit there. All right, on Poshmark, I use these Tyvek mailers. They have little flaps here that I don't like, so I use a little priority sticker to just kind of tape those flaps down. If you don't know, all priority mailing supplies are free on the USPS website. You are only supposed to use them when you're using a priority label like that. Yeah. So, like, you're not supposed to use them to I'm not gonna police the world. Okay. I had some interesting numbers on this morning. So this is a little sweater. This is Eddie Bauer, which I definitely take a second look at Eddie Bauer. It's a quality brand. I don't think the sell-through is super great on most things. This had a couple things that I really liked about it. It was 100% cotton, and it says it's made in Australia. So that is, I don't know, there's something about items being made in Australia that apparently is quality. And let me show you the difference. So I looked up Eddie Bauer cotton sweater, Australia. I added women's because it is a women's sweater. Okay. Sell-through rate's not high. I mean, the average sell price is $13.83. Okay, not high. Sell-through rate is 28%. I took out Australia, and the sell-through rate changed to 10%. So there's something about it. I don't exactly know what it is. Maybe there's a perception that it's made better. Maybe it has something to do with sustainability or fair trade. I don't know. I'm guessing. These are theories. I'm just picking off fuzzies right now. I probably should just grab a lint roller, but this one's actually not bad. Just had a few little things I wanted to grab. Okay, we're good? We're good, we're good. All right. I had a sale going on eBay. Have still. I think I'm gonna adjust it. I think I'm gonna make it different because I don't love it. What I decided to do was do 5% off and then leave. I have a 15% off coupon on my store, and then I send out 20% off offers. So I thought I would just leave my coupon on and still continue to send out offers, and then just take that extra 5% with the sale. One thing you can do, I chose not to, is if you want to do something like that, you can actually go in and bulk edit all of your listings and raise the price by 5% and then put it on a 5% sale. I chose not to do that. But that's a possibility, just in case you didn't know. All right. Yeah, this sold with the 15% off coupon. It was listed for $20. It sold for $18.96 plus the 15%, which makes, with shipping then, sorry, they paid a total of $22.43. It sold in 5 months. Super low sell-through rate, so I'm not surprised that it took long to sell. And 5 months for me, I don't feel is bad. I prefer 3 months, but I'm satisfied with 6. And really, if it sells, I'm happy. Period. So my sister gave me a bunch of poly mailers from Amazon, from whatever. And the label wasn't coming off, so I just wanted to Sharpie out their address. Okay. I like to use recycled poly mailers when I can. I wrap everything in tissue paper. It is 20 by 30, and I buy it on Amazon, and everything is linked in my description if you're curious. Okay. I bought this sweater for 52 cents at my favorite thrift store. I love when the cost of goods is that low, especially considering, you know, it's sold for probably $15. Yeah, about $15. My profit on that then is $11.68. So I'm satisfied with that. I aim for $15 in profit. That's what I hope my average will be. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. This is a oversized We the Free, which is Free People, like waffle knit top. It looked like I had a stain there, but it's just the weird lighting and the shadows because I have the garage doors open. Makes me so happy. There's the tag, the We the Free tag. This is a large. This would, like, I would swim in this. It's big. And I am not a large. I'm larger than a large. Okay. We the Free waffle, and then I added tunic, I think, just because it's long. It doesn't have the split on the side, so it's not actually technically a tunic, I guess. But I added that to the search. Is $18.85 with a 12% sell-through rate. This one took 9 months to sell. Again, not surprising with a low sell-through rate like that. It sold for $12.81, again for 15% off, plus shipping. They paid a total of $25.61. I paid $3 for this from some friends, and I actually just talked about this a couple days ago when I was talking about low cost of goods. And one of the ways I get low cost of goods is that I tell my friends what I do. And so some friends of mine were having a yard sale last summer, and they were like, hey, you sell stuff on the internet. Come look at our yard sale and maybe we'll do a consignment. At that point, they wanted to do a consignment deal. And I was like, all right, here's what I can do for a consignment deal, or I can buy these outright for $3 a piece. And they were like, definitely 100%, let's do that. And I have a few things left, but most of the stuff has been selling from them, which is fantastic. I think I just spent all that time doing that, and I'm not sure this is gonna fit in here. I'm gonna make it fit. It's gonna work. I have faith in it. Okay. Here's one of the things about living in Indiana. If you don't live in Indiana, you will never experience it. I don't know, maybe you will. Maybe there's other states that experience this, but there is a very distinct smell in the spring and in the fall, and it usually lasts about a week, but it's when the farmers are fertilizing their fields, and it is strong and distinct. All right. Sorry, I just got it was just like my garage just filled with the smell automatic all of a sudden. So somebody must be starting the process somewhere nearby. I live in town, but we're not far from the edge of town. So we get the smells. And actually, it just is all over the whole town. Okay. Did I tell you? I'm getting real distracted today. The past couple days, I've had really clear topics in my videos, and I was trying to come up with one today, and I got 5 mini topics, and that's not helpful because then it just, I feel distracted and discombobulated and all over the place. All right. $25.81 is what they paid. I think I said that already. I paid $3 after fees, shipping, and my cost of goods. My profit is $12.63. Cool. Thank you to my friends for that. They actually were just saying they have more clothes for me to go through. So yay, that'll be fun. All right, I saved the best one for last. And then I have a question, like a I need help with this kind of question. I do have a like silly question of the day too. All right, this, a couple weeks ago, I posted a like work with me video, and I had gone to a sale. It was like half off all their dresses. And I bought, I don't know, what was it, 10 or 15 dresses. And this is one of them. So this is a maxi length shirt dress, and it actually has like hidden buttons. And somebody got a really good deal on this, I think. This sold in 12 days. But this is the first of those dresses to sell, so I was kind of hoping a few of them anyway would sell really fast, but this did not. I mean, this sold fast, but none of them are selling like super duper fast. Long sleeve, it's just super cute. This is, oh my word, I didn't tell you anything about this. Okay, it's long sleeved. It's a shirt dress with hidden buttons. The buttons go literally all the way down, and it is a maxi dress. The brand is Chico's. That is a new tag for Chico's. And then here's the other good thing about this is it's a 3.5, which is a US 18. Yeah. So plus size Chico's, I don't want to say that's a bolo, but if it's plus size Chico's, I'm almost always buying it if I can get it for under like $5. Because my experience has been that sells really fast. All right, so Chico's maxi shirt dress, plus size. Actually didn't add plus size to the sell-through rate, to the search. I'll get there. The average sale price is $32.43 with a 20% sell-through rate. That doesn't seem high, but again, this sold in 12 days, and I'm not surprised. So it sold for $37.96. They used the 15% off, and there's something else I was going to tell you about this. Oh, it sold international. So I do have international shipping. The international, they used to call it like the global shipping program or something. I don't know what they call it now. International shipping something or other. It's super simple to turn on eBay. Can I tell you how to do that right now? No, not off the top of my head. But if you just do like a quick Google, like how to turn on international shipping on eBay, it'll tell you step by step how to do it. And I think it's actually automatically turned off, and you have to, or turned on, and you actually have to turn it off if you don't want it. I'm not positive about that, but I feel good about saying that. All right. So they paid $39.11, but they also paid more money. So how the international shipping program works, if you don't know, is that I am going to ship this to a hub in Chicago. So I just have to put it in this little recycled bubble mailer and put it in whatever you want. I have a Ground Advantage label. It's going to go to this hub, and then they are going to take care of all of the customs, all of the stuff that you have to do extra to ship international. They're going to take care of that, and I don't have to do that. So the person does have to pay shipping twice. They have to pay for me to ship it. Is it the neighbor kids or are those my kids?
Your children.
That's my children?
Your children, yes.
All is well. However, It was happy screaming. I don't know where I was, so there's that. Okay, I think I was talking about international shipping. They have to pay for the shipping from me to the hub in Chicago, and then they'll also have to pay the shipping from Chicago to wherever it is that they live, which I didn't look to see where they live. So anyway, that's international shipping. It's super easy. And then if they have returns, like eBay has to take care of all of that. I don't have to deal with any of it, which is really, really nice. So I can just, all right, 12 days. I paid $4 for this at a half off sale. I already talked about that. They paid a total of $39.11. So that was 30, I had it priced at $39. The 5% off was $37.95. They paid 15% off of that plus the shipping cost from me to Chicago. And then again, that's where I remember saying that now. Sorry. You heard it twice. Then they also paid an additional fee, whatever that was, to pay from the Chicago hub to them. So I only see that $39.11. That none of the rest of it comes to me, so I don't have to worry about any of it, which is really nice. After fees, shipping, and my cost of goods, my profit on that is $24.02. So I'm pleased with that. Love that so much. My total profit for the day was $66.97, which is 3 cents off of my goal for one day. However, if you remember at the beginning of the video, this is actually 2 days worth since I didn't ship yesterday, which is sad. Okay, so I have a question. I don't know what to do with these, okay? I had mentioned, I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago, I had mentioned that I had found that sometimes uniform pants can, like uniforms just in general, not necessarily even just pants, but sometimes, you know, like a Chick-fil-A hat or what I was talking about was I had found some Amazon shorts and the sell-through rate actually wasn't really good. And then I mentioned that I had found some FedEx pants in the bins, and I actually have 2 pair of these, and they're both new. They still have the tags on them, and they say FedEx, and I don't know. When I did the comps, does it say FedEx? Yeah. Here, I'll show you the tag. When I did the comps, they were really good. It was like 60% when I did them at the bins. However, when I looked it up, I was going to give you the exact sell-through rate. It said 2%. And I looked it up multiple ways. So I don't know if it changed, if I did something wrong. I'm not sure. I do feel like sometimes comps are different on my phone versus on my computer, which is a little frustrating, but it is what it is. However, somebody mentioned on that video in a comment, they were like, hey, be careful about those pants because bad people will buy them to use them to impersonate delivery people and then steal or pillage or destroy or whatever it is that they have intent to do, right? And I was like, ugh. Shoot, I do not want to contribute to that in any way, shape, or form. And so I just decided, like, no matter what, and this was when I still thought the sell-through rate was really high, and the sale price was like $40, and I was like, it's not worth that much money to me, right? No amount of money is worth that to me. So I'm just not going to do that. So they've been sitting in my garage for a few weeks now, and I don't know what to do with them, because I was like, well, I guess I'll just donate them back. But I'm like, wait a minute. That actually just puts them back in the cycle again, and someone else could buy them to, hopefully, you know, I like to approach, and I tell my children this all the time, I like to approach life as, you know, most people in the world are good. Most people in the world are good. But we need to be aware that there are some people who aren't. And so I'm not like trying to gloom and doom here. Like, that's not my purpose. But it did make me just kind of get the like, ugh, I don't want to contribute to that in any way. But now I don't know what to do. Now I don't know what to do with them. I don't want to throw them in the garbage because that just contributes to waste. I did think maybe I could drop them off at like the FedEx store in town.
I'm going to wash some trees.
Okay, have fun.
Ugh, I smell cow poop.
Yep, we've already talked about that.
Manure.
Manure. Yep, they're just fertilizing the fields.
Blech, with poop.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. Okay, if you have thoughts, if there's another option, what would you do? Or of the options I presented, or do you have another option that is better than the ones that I presented? Because I don't know what to do with them. It's stressing me out a little bit. I mean, like a little bit stressing me out. They can sit in my garage for 3 more months. I'm not putting a time limit on it. Okay. All right. Fun question of the day is going to be, again, food related. I'm just going to be on a food topic for a while. And that is, what are your thoughts on food trucks? Do you have a preference? Would you prefer to dine out, or would you prefer a food truck? It's kind of like a, would you rather? Would you rather eat at a food truck? Would you rather eat at a restaurant? For me, I love food trucks, but I kind of have to be in that like mood, right? Kind of thinking like festival fair type kind of mood. Like if I'm going out, we don't eat out a ton, and when we do, it's usually like date night or, you know, celebrating something like a birthday or something. One of my little helpers here had a birthday recently. How old are you now? 7. It's very exciting. Yes, he got a very important, very treasured birthday present, didn't you? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think when I'm thinking about a celebration or, you know, a date, I'd much rather be at a restaurant, so I can take my time, so I can, you know, like the ambiance and the food. But there is a time like when just a really good food truck food is good. But again, I think it has to be more of like that festival fair kind of feel for me. I don't know. That's my question. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you so much, your help and just your company. It makes shipping a lot more enjoyable for me to be able to hang out with you. So thank you so much. Make sure you like the video. If you liked it, subscribe. If you haven't already, I do these Ship With Me videos almost every day, Monday through Saturday. And yeah, I'll see you soon.